পরে আমি শুরু করব। ঠিক আছে।
Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Rafi Redwan Rohan, and today I am going to talk about through my project is networking 482 computer networking session. The project is called the Advanced Enterprise Networking Project. Basically, the design, the implementation of a secure company network system built a simulation entirely in Cisco Packet Tracer. Before I get into the step, let me quickly explain the solution I was designing for. Here's some problem and the scenario. The company I designed the network for is a cloud solution company around 600 staff members, and they are moving into a new three-floor building. Right now, before this project, the company has no real network structure. Everything's one flat network. So no segmentation, no firewall, no redundancy, no centralized wireless management, no VoIP system, and no real plan for the cloud connectivity or server visualization. That's a big problem for a company this size because it means any department can technically see the traffic from another department. There is no security boundary between the internet and internet system. If one link or one device fails, the enterprise network goes down for all 600 employees. They cannot scale their wireless network properly. They have no integrated phone system. So my job was to design a network for the ground up that fixes all that something secure, reliable, and scalable. That actually reflects how a real enterprise network would be built. Now my friend Jahid will be explained the next part.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Mohammed Jahid Hasan, and the objective of our project is the overall goal was to design, simulate, and implement a complete enterprise network for this three-floor building covering six departments, that is sales and marketing, HR and logistics, finance and accounts, administration, and PR, ICT, and the server room. We used Cisco Packet Tracer as the platform, and we use real industry standard Cisco hardware in the simulation. Things like Catalyst 3850 core switches, Catalyst 2960 access switches, ASA 5500X firewalls, and a wireless LAN controller and a voice gateway. So the whole setup mirrors what you would actually see in the real company network. More specifically, we wanted to separate every department onto its own VLAN so traffic stays isolated and controlled. We set up routing between those VLANs using layer 3 switches. We built a proper firewall security architecture with outside, inside, and DMZ zones. We wanted to host public facing servers like web, email, FTP safely in the DMZ, while keeping internal servers like DHCP, DNS, and Radius protected inside. We wanted to roll out centralized wireless with WPA3 and 802.1x authentication. We wanted to add voice over IP phone communication across all three floors. We built in redundancy dual ISP failover firewalls, so there is no single point of failure, and simulate cloud connectivity and server virtualization since this company's whole business is cloud solutions. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Now I will explain the methodology of our project. First, I followed a 60-step methodology. First, I analyzed the network requirements. Then I designed the topology and the IP addressing scheme. After that, I built the network in Cisco Packet Tracer and configured all devices. Next, I tested connectivity and security. Finally, I documented the entire project in the report and presentation. Now, I will explain about requirement analysis. First, identified the company's network requirements, and then including departments, users, security, wireless, and voice IP service. Then network design. Design the logical topology, VLAN structure, and IP addressing plan. Then topology development, built the network topology in Cisco packet tracer. Then configuration and implementation, we configured routers, switches, firewall, servers, and wireless device. Then the part is testing. We tested connectivity, VLAN communication, security policies, and network performance. The last is documentation, prepared the final report and presentation. Thank you.
Namaskar, and I will be taking it from here and explain step by step what we actually did implement. First of all, we placed those devices in Cisco packet tracer, as you can see. Then we powered on the devices and configured them for wireless connectivity and other necessary ports. Then, then we got the wireless clients, as you can see in this section. Next, we built a department and assigned them buildings and floors. Then we set up the DMZ with enough servers to maintain our daily need and a switch that will connect our DMZ to the firewall. Then we started doing basic CLI operation in the switches, especially access point switches and the multi-layer switches. Thus, only management team can gain access through password security. Then we started configuring VLANs. As you can see here, we have multiple VLANs. VLAN 10 for management team, LAN 20, and WLAN is VLAN 50, and 70 is a special VLAN that is for voice over IP. For the servers, the VLAN is 90, and all the other region will have a black hole VLAN of 199, sorry, that will block all the unrequired traffics. Now, we'll configure the security features of the layer 2 switches and then the layer 3 switches. Then finally, we have linked all those devices, and then later we started giving a DHCP service where we have created a DHCP pool for multiple VLANs, and then later all the devices were assigned IP through DHCP. So DMZ cannot gain IP with a DHCP, so we have to assign it manually. Also, those static IP was assigned for these routers and the network representing the cloud and the broader internet. Also, the firewall was set manually. We implemented dynamic routing on our port switches and our firewalls. Then later, we perform firewall redundancy, so we can always have a backlog option that will ensure our security. Then we started doing firewall policies. For that, we created policy for inside zones and outside zones. And this firewall will have a specific policy for the DMZ zone. Then we gave our focus to the wireless control. And from this PC, we set up wireless connections. As you can see, there are multiple wireless SSIDs that a user can connect to. And finally, we set up voice over IP through this voice over gateway route. Now, let's talk about what our success metrics should be. First, we want to ensure that our firewall and port switch have redundancy. So if one system gets failed, another will take over and perform the job until the system is fixed. As you can see, we have implemented it successfully. We also implemented HSRP and LSP, so our core switches can share the burden of network and traffic, so it won't get overcrowded. We also established connections such way that only management and admin can work through this core ISP, while rest network through it gets on standby standard, and the IT department and marketing and finance department will do their job through this core switch. Uh, so essentially, it will halve the total load in this network. And as you can see, the wireless connections are connecting perfectly, though it is connected to the strongest Wi-Fi access point. And finally, we have checked our voice over IPs and PCs and used ping commands, so it will work flawlessly without any packet missing or IP configuration missing. To summarize this project takes a company with no real network structure and transform it to a segmented, secure, redundant, and scalable enterprise network built entirely around real-world Cisco practices. We have already complemented foundational LAN, routing, and basic address and initial connectivity. What remains is the scalability and more device integration. Voice over IP quality are also set, so you can contact with one department and another department with just a few buttons. So thank you for watching this presentation, and thanks my team members for supporting me through this journey. You're welcome.